Good afternoon. My name is Joshua Houston. I'm General Counsel with Texas Impact, and we are here today on House Bill 582. Texas Impact would like to start out by saying we deeply appreciate the work Representative Dale has put into this bill, making it significantly better from the file version. The entire office has been very receptive and gracious and willing to address concerns. In fact, the provision in the as-file version that would have required refugees to renew annually in person at $24 each has been removed from the bill, and we very much appreciate that. Our outstanding concern that is maybe best answered by the agency itself is more of a question, and it is whether or not the fingerprinting process would create additional delays or cost for legal permanent residents. So right now, current practice is when DPS takes a scan, they just take a scan of our thumbprints when we go to get a license or ID. Our question is whether what is involved in obtaining an entire set of fingerprints. Is that still just a digital scan you'd do on site, or is it something more elaborate that would be required? And then does DPS have the necessary equipment to be able to do that kind of fingerprinting at every driver's license office in the state? We'd want to make sure that people are able to have a one-stop shop, that they go get their driver's license and are able to get fingerprinted right there on site, and not be something that's contracted out to a different company where they would have to travel to the contractor at a different location, and that it would require some sort of separate appointment, like what happens with some licensing fingerprinting that the state does. That would result in more time off work and travel across town, which is difficult for people who have an hourly wage job, or don't have a driver's license to travel in the first place. We think those things could have some additional cost for the applicant. And then there's some risk with the applicant's job with their employer if they have to take off too much work. So we want to make sure that DPS has the infrastructure in place to make it a one-stop shop where at every office in the state, so there's not a situation where somebody is working in Dalhart and there's not a fingerprinting service close by and they have to travel to Amarillo to get their fingerprints in order to get a license. So we would urge the committee not to leave this up to chance or to rulemaking or other administrative procedure, but to clarify this either by asking the agency if they're here today or in a letter perhaps, or by addressing it somehow explicitly in the bill. But again, we'd like to thank Representative Dale for the changes that have been made. They've been very gracious and very good to work with. We thank the committee for your work on this bill, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much. Any questions, members?
Quick one.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for your testimony. And I appreciate what Representative Dale's been, from all accounts, it's a major improvement. I'm wondering, without this bill, what's the status quo right now? If I'm a refugee, gone through a very intensive process to get here, what's the process today?
So we understand the status quo to be this, that DPS makes two distinctions between people who are here permanently, legally, citizens and legal permanent residents, refugees and asylees, and that's one category. Then another category is people who are here temporarily, such as visas and student visas and work visas and things of that nature. So if you're here temporarily, you get what's called a limited term license, which is stamped. And then current practice today is for the permanent people who are here permanently to get a 6-year type license, and they do all look the same currently.
Okay. Thank you.
Members, any other questions? Thank you very much.